I'm Clayton Henderson here with Max Wagner and again, Superintendent Dr. Gene Johnson. Max?
You know, we got a great game for you tonight. The home team, Shawnee Mission South, 9-2, number 2 in the Sunfire League behind Olathe Northwest. They should, and I expect them to have a pretty big game. What do you think, Dr. Johnson?
Well, I agree with you, Max. You know, West has had a tough couple of weeks, and they'll get back on track. So it should be a good game. We have a lot of students here. It's Hall of Fame night. We'll have a good time.
I believe that we will win. 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 I believe that we will win.
We're going to go straight to the game here in a second. Got Dr. Johnson with us and Max Wagner. We're going to see a great game and the induction of some Hall of Famers.
Yep, and I agree, Clayton. And the big key for West tonight is to get big on the board. Shawnee Mission South is averaging about 24.4 rebounds per game, and West does have the size to match up with South, but they really need to focus on getting rebounds and keep South from scoring because South has a high-powered offense, averaging 56.7 points per game. What do you think, Dr. Johnson?
Well, tonight West needs to get off to a good start. You know, the last time we saw them a couple of weeks ago at East, they just couldn't get it going, scoring only 1 point in the third quarter. So that certainly wasn't okay with them, and they'll come back. They'll be back.
Yes, and I agree. And Jade Samat, their leading scorer, shooting 50% from three-point range. So he's looking to be a big score tonight.
All right, well, we're going to cut to a West video real fast, but we'll be right back.
Well, we have an 8-man varsity team, and so our 5 starters have been Jay Tamat at shooting guard, Kyle Summers at point guard, Nick Thayer swings between a shooting guard and a forward, Mitch Witter is a forward and shooting guard, and Austin Chambers is our center. So those 5 guys start. We lost Mike Meyer, our best player this year, and our young men have stepped up and done a nice job. I really like to practice. My players will tell you I'm crazy. If I could, we'd practice 4 hours and then go lift and then go watch film. I enjoy being with the young men and being with my assistants, and I really get kind of bummed out when the season ends. So we're just enjoying the ride, one day at a time, as they say, hoping to get better every day. Hopefully our fans, who have been awesome, will continue to come. And West is best, and we will be very, very good when it comes postseason time.
Being a senior on the basketball team is a lot of responsibility, and I just feel knowing it's your last year, but that's why we've been working hard a lot every practice so we can go out with a bang. The practices this year are a lot harder than they were last year. We feel like we have a better team, so we might as well practice harder and get better to reach our full potential. Being on the court and during a game is one of the greatest times. We always have one of the best crowds ever, even if it's an away game. We always pack the stands, and the games are just, the adrenaline is always rushing, and it's just a lot of fun.
We're here at your home court. What do you guys say for your team tonight?
Oh yeah, sure. Our 6th game winning streak was snapped. have to have the Shawnee tournament against Emporia, but you know, the boys came back and beat Joplin by 38 points in the next game to get third place. So I'm really looking forward to a big high school game in South. You know, this is their first home game in almost a month, really. So I'm sure that they're excited to get back in the home court and their home fans. It should be a great game.
It's going to be a solid game for both teams. They both need this one. West for a little bit of redemption, and South to keep their plays solid right now. Dr. Johnson, what do you got to say?
Well, I'm just anxious for the game to get going here, and so are the fans. So here we go.
Yeah, we got a great house tonight. The student section in South is just going crazy.
You know, we have a great bunch of kids here from West too, so be a good night for the kids.
And especially since it's Hall of Fame night, the boys really want to put on a show for their home court, and everyone, and especially the Hall of Fame inductees that are here to see their high school play some basketball.
Right.
All right, here we go. Getting ready for the tip-off.
South crowd is really getting into it with the I believe that we will win speed. And I anticipate that this is going to be a loud game, especially with all the fans here we got.
You got that right. This is going to be a high voltage, high octane game for both teams and their fans.
That's what it's all about. Get the students here and have a good time.
It's one of the greatest atmospheres in high school basketball. To have a 6A, a nice court, a huge fan support. It's just one of the greatest experiences that these kids will have in their high school careers.
All right, here we go, the tip-off. And it looks like it's going to go to West first. Here we go. Or South, excuse me.
Devin Newsom. It looks like West is starting off, and man, they really want to make sure they guard all the shooters out there. Rebound, Witter. Witter is their top rebounder with 6.8 points per 6.8 rebounds per game. I'm sorry, so he really needs to be big for West tonight.
West tossing it inside, right under it, but there's a foul.
Trying to get it to the big man's side, Austin Chambers.
Interesting coaching matchup tonight. We got Mike Brinsko, who's been coaching for well over 40 years, and Brett McFall's second year as a head coach. So that'll be interesting.
Oh yes, it really is. And something about Coach McFall, you know, he comes from a rich basketball family.
Yeah.
His father, John McFall, legendary coach. You know, he's almost in his 40th year. He's coaching the Mill Valley girls. But, you know, he coached at Olathe South for a many number of years.
Yeah.
Great coach. McFall played in college and professionally.
South bringing it up right under the rim, scores a nice two off the bank.
Junior Tosh Pedersen with the and one. And he is South's top free throw shooter, so he really needs to get to the free throw line.
That's what they needed right there.
Now, Dr. Johnson, do you think with that N1 that South has really set the tone for this game?
Well, we'll have to see here. You know, West really needs to score on this possession.
West having a hard time getting through South's defense on the outside.
South is playing a really tough zone right now to really sure that they block all passing lanes so West can get nothing easy inside.
Got some long passes all the way over the court.
And that's exactly what the South defense wants. They want skip passes to see if they can get a deflection and take it the other way.
Not finding a place to get through. West is taking a few risky passes. Not a shot yet. Coming on the outside. Oh, not quite, but a good rebound.
Offensive rebound from Mitch Witter. South needs to get those backside boards on their zone.
Bringing it back, number 25 for the South.
That's a
For the
sophomore,
three.
Devin Newsom.
Not quite.
That's the freshman, Danon Swoop. He's their second leading scorer as a freshman. It's been a great start to the season for the young fellow.
West struggling to rebound their own shot. We got to travel.
There's a traveling call on that. West needs to finish those close to the basket shots. They really need to attack South and get their big guys in foul trouble if they want to stay in the game.
Both teams playing a tight defense tonight. West is keeping South outside for the most part, but
as Christie can't hit that baseline jumper. Dylan Christie, the big senior man inside, their leading scorer, 12.8 points per game. Also their leading rebounder. He's gonna have a good game tonight again. Against the mismatch that West shows.
for all their long over-the-top passes, West sure has a lot of tight offense and defense, doing their best to penetrate South.
And it's those costly traveling turnovers that they can't afford to have. Wouldn't you say so, Dr. Johnson?
Yeah, it's, they can't afford the mistakes, and so they really need to get the ball back and score.
I agree. And South
going for a quick penetration right on the basket, and it's good. 2 points.
Jake Caldwell on the drive. It looks like South is trying to attack that man defense by driving in the paint and trying to see if they can get a layup or a kick it out versus and kick it out for a jump shot.
Got a pick on the inside. Penetration right under the rim, but no good.
Chambers,
Good rebound by South.
And it looks like the big man Chambers is just having a slow start to this game.
Oh, nice outside shot by South, but not quite in. West with the rebound.
Yeah, but just a lot of but it was a good shot. It was a wide open look. It looks like West is trying to get something out of their high post. And Jay Tamat, their leading scorer, is off to a quick 0-2 shooting game. So he really needs to generate some points for this offense and get it going.
South having a hard time penetrating West, trying to get an inside shot, but it looks like they're gonna have to settle for an outside one if they don't find a place to get in.
They get it to the big man inside, Christie.
Good inside pass inside the paint.
You got to make those high percentage shots as Christie just showed.
Join Shawnee Mission 5th graders as they celebrate America's heroes on February 10th. The annual celebration of leaders throughout history starts at 9:30 a.m. at Shawnee Mission South. Viewers at home can also watch the event on Time Warner Channel 2, Share West Channel 18, and AT&T Channel 99.
And West is already off to 4 turnovers in the first quarter. They really need to value the basketball. This is a game they cannot afford to just let the ball slip away from them.
Devin Newsom with a nice outside shot for South.
Basketball is a game of runs, and South is off to a 9-0 run quick early on in this game. West needs to generate some offense to end this, to get the momentum in their favor.
What a nice layup by
All right.
40 for West.
That was very nice, and that's just what West needs right now.
And especially from their best player on the floor, senior Mitch Witter. A nice drive for an and one. And and free throws could be the deciding factor in this game for Shawnee Mission West if they get to the free throw line.
Good rebound, number 34, South. Passed outside immediately, though.
That was a nice hustle play by number 5, Robert Rice, diving into the bench, and it looks like he's okay, so we're gonna resume play.
Devin Newsom with the ball coming up for South. Close inside pass, just couldn't hold on to it.
And it's West ball.
You know, South has a really ingenious defense right now. They're keeping West up away from each other, even immediately from the break. They are doing a good job keeping any sort of offense at bay right now, keeping them with the long passes over the field.
Yeah, exactly, Clay. They're trying to get in their face to make them uncomfortable, so they feel a little disoriented, so their offense can't work as right, and they feel a little flustered. And South has a really young team. They only have 2 seniors on the roster. The rest are either, they have 3 juniors and the rest are sophomores.
Dylan Christie right under the goal inside for South.
A great body control move.
Those long passes right there for West are perfect opportunities for South to get out there and snatch it.
There we go. That's what West needs.
Jay Tamat right under the basket off the glass.
They really do, especially from the leading scorer, as I said before, Tamat.
Shawnee Mission South having a hard time driving in. They're on the outside right now, just waiting out the clock.
And West cannot afford in this man defense to allow any easy drives or drives that lead to easy points. And a foul by Witter on Pedersen.
We got sub-ins for both teams, South and West.
Dayton Spook, the freshman, will sit on the bench for the remainder of the corner. And as I said before, West really needs to hold their own on defense. They cannot allow the great shooters of South to get wide open like they have been in the first quarter.
West right now taking a page out of the South book. They're keeping the offense away from each other, restricting any passes. They got to keep on the outside if they want to prevent any more points.
It looks like South is going to try to take the last shot here. Looks like Pedersen. No, he was not fouled in the shot. It was on the floor, so it'll be South ball on the baseline. All right, West trying to get to.
All right, that's the end of the first quarter. Raiders lead with 11. West with 4. We're going to cut to Sunflower promo real quick. We'll be right back. Tonight, got some nice inside off the glass shots by South.
And South is really attacking the basket, trying to get some man ones and get them in foul trouble. Now, Dr. Johnson, what we've seen from the first quarter, what do you think West has to do to get back in this game?
Well, South is playing really good defense here, and so is West, actually. And they just need to get some shots, and the shots have to fall.
Well said. West is coming down the court, bringing it back, trying to find a way inside this South defense.
And they're putting Tomat on the post, which is a little unusual because he's usually good, because in most teams' offense, they don't really put the guards on the post, but it looks like West is trying to get some mismatches with their taller guards that they have.
Rebound by South, bring it back nice and easy, trying to solidify their lead right now.
And even though South has a 7-point lead, they cannot do some not smart shots.
Nice inside shot, number 14 for South.
They can't allow West to get some quick points and get back in this game. They have to play the defense that they played in the first quarter.
West trying to break the South defense, driving in, pulling back every single time. Nice under the rim shot, but it's no good.
And that was a good rotation by Pedersen to make sure. And that was a good rotation to make sure that he was there, to make sure that Chambers wouldn't have the easy layup.
Oh, nice outside shot by South, but didn't quite make it in.
Good offensive rebound by Colson Bales, but Christie just couldn't handle the pass.
West swinging around the horn, outside shot, not quite. Rebounded by number 34, South.
Boy, even with the shooters that West have, their three-pointers have just not fallen right now.
Yeah, and they're only getting one shot, and South is doing a good job of defensive rebounding.
Yeah, and as I said at the beginning of the game, they have to crash the boards. They have to get as much people as they can possible on every shot to make sure that they get the rebound.
Yep, exactly.
All right, coming in for West.
Looks like Whitterwood taking the points.
South and West sticking to a man-on-man defense for now. Nice penetration by the West. Not quite, we got a foul. 2 shots.
Looks like that'll be a blocking foul on, yep, it looks like it'll be a foul on Swoop right there. And that was a good shot fake at the top of the key in the drive. You just got to finish your layup and get that and one. Junior guard Robert Rice.
Good number 2.
And as I said before, free throws could be a very crucial aspect of this game for both teams. Each team really needs to get to the foul line and make their free throws. I mean it's just free points that it's just free points. You just got to concentrate and focus and just see the ball go in, and it's just easy points.
South swinging around the horn, trying to find a way in. Devin Newman on the Devin. Oh, nice outside shot.
A nice rebound by the sophomore Nick Oliver, who's seen a little bit of varsity time this year.
Outside shot is good. Number 34, South.
And that's what they need from Dylan Christie, their leading scorer, to really to really be a force on the inside, but also on the perimeter. Looks like that'll be a foul on Devin Newsom. And with Eric Weaver, their starting senior guard that South is missing due to a quad injury, you might get to see some younger South players playing this game.
Shot for West doesn't quite sink. It goes to Devin Newsom for the bring up.
West is having a difficult time here shooting. They've only been getting one shot, and they're not going in.
Oh man, that pass right into the hands of West.
Yeah, and Dr. Johnson, as you just said, you know, their shots aren't falling. You know, they just need to find other ways to score, you know, getting to the free throw line.
Mitch Waiter right under the basket. We got a foul then.
Looks like that'll be an offensive foul on Mitch. Offensive foul on Witter. And that is his third foul already in the first half. 2 more, and he's done for the game, getting their best player. And South has done a great job getting West's best player in foul trouble early.
Timeout, South.
So, Dr. Johnson, if you were Coach Brinskill right now, what would you be telling your players right now?
Well, you know, they're awful tight, and you know, that's what happens with a team when they're down, as far down as West is right now. But actually, they can come back. Their problem is they're only getting one shot, and no offensive rebounding. But South is playing just horrific defense here, doing a great job.
Yeah, and I agree. And about West, as I said, they're just gonna find different ways to score, and just approach the game differently to see whatever works.
South, nice penetration into the basket, but pass gives it to West.
That would be the second straight turnover for South. They really have to value the basketball.
Kyle Summers on the outside, passes it 23 for South. West, excuse me.
And it looks like it'll stay West ball. Ref says it was off Dayton Swoop. And as you said, Dr. Johnson, they can get back in this game. It's only a 10-point game.
Yeah, that's right. It is. And South, they've had 3 quick turnovers here, so the big chance for West to get back in it.
Yeah, you see, they're getting the opportunity to get some quick points and to really challenge South, but they just have to capitalize on every opportunity that they get this game.
Both teams are having such good defense, they're putting the other team into an uncomfortable offense.
Looks like
but they can't quite make their tight passes. Nice rebound, 24 for South.
And Nick Bateman can't finish the easy layup. There's just a scramble on the floor.
Nice
Henderson with a nice drive and a reverse layup. And South is continually driving the ball to get to, just take it right to the cup.
Outside shot by West, not quite in. Good defense by South, keeping him on the outside.
Definitely South basketball says it was off Austin Chambers.
West they're getting some shots here, but there's absolutely no offensive rebounding, and that's really hurting them.
It really is, and they only got in, every possession has just been one shot, as you said.
Right now, Shawnee Mission South under the rim. West, number 11, with the rebound, taking it up slow. West is doing a good job of trying to control themselves, especially on offense, organizing themselves into certain plays.
Yeah, West is playing really uptight right now. They just got to relax, run their offense and get a good shot.
Nice layup under the basket, number 21, West.
That was Kyle Summers, who isn't a big scorer, only averaging about 2.5 points per game, but he is their leading assist at about 5.5 assists per game.
Number 34, not quite. Rebound by South, gives him the ball back, top of the horn to Devin Newsom.
And Dr. Johnson, the other thing about it, you know, it's not just offensive rebounding, it's also defensive rebounding. You know, I don't see anyone boxing out, you know, especially with South size. They really got to get on those big guys.
That's right, they do. And you know, West is getting some chances here with South turnovers, so if they can capitalize on some of those, they can get back in the game. They're only down by 10.
And you know, now we're climbing in the final minute. You know, if West can get some offense going and get the momentum going in the half.
South's bringing it back up for the last seconds of the quarter.
And South is going to look to take the last shot here.
As of now, South still leads by 10 after the first half. It's a rough game out there. Both teams want it pretty bad, and they're willing to push for it.
This whole gym is electric right now. Really cheering on to see it. Looks like there'll be a foul away from the ball. A little bit of confusion on the floor. And
not sure what the call is here.
it looks like it was a foul on South away from the ball. But just a little confusion, and Coach McFall trying to argue his case with the ref. Looks like there's still no word on whose basketball, and it looks like it'll be South ball.
Yeah. Foul on West.
For 5 seconds, South has the ball. They got to make this shot, solidify themselves as the leader right now.
Looks like, and Pedersen was stripped of the ball, and it looks like it's going to stay South basketball.
Yep.
2 seconds left. They got to draw up a play where they can get a wide open and quick shot to send the momentum their way into halftime.
All right, quick pass in by Devin Newsome, all the way in, 34, and it's a good layup by South. Nice inside, off the back. All right, that's the end of the first half. South leads by 12, 20 to 8. We'll be right back after this. We're in for a real treat tonight. We're going to witness some Hall of Famers being inducted here at South during halftime.
Yes, this is going to be an addition for the Shawnee Mission Hall of Fame class of 2012. We have 3 inductees this year, and this should be a very honorable ceremony for everyone in attendance.
Shawnee Mission South alumni. Great football player and will make a nice addition to the Hall of Fame.
Also in our league. That first year, he led the Raiders sophomore right team to an undefeated season. He ran for more than 1,000 yards on the varsity as a junior with 8 touchdowns. That number jumped to 14 scores as a senior, attracting the attention of major colleges. He selected Kansas State University and played for Vince Gibson. His number 40 is not retired at South, but it's not in service either, since it'd be hard to duplicate his performance, effort, and competitive fire. We don't see too many three-sport athletes anymore, but he also lettered in wrestling for Guy Malone and track, sprinting at the same meet as a sophomore. Here are college coaches encouraging students to do multiple sports since you wouldn't get fat and lazy that way. What he remembers about South is being an amazing place. All the school spirit, he loves the kids over here.
And he's joined us at stage by current head football coach Ryan Lonergan.
Football was the sport back in the 60s, and timing was everything. Raider Hall of Fame coach John Davis wanted to run the football, so he was a perfect fit for the offense, because when you pass, two bad things can happen, right? Running was safer. Ted had speed, instincts, and the ability to find a hole when there wasn't a hole there. Shawnee Mission South changed his life his junior year. Football assistant coach Bruce Roach gave him the seat study hall next to a cute little girl, Carol Joe. She's been his wife for the past 38 years.
The coach.
He is honored and honored as one of the things he's deserving. There's no doubt he belongs. Please welcome the class of 1969 Hall of Famer Ted Staley.
Wow, that's fantastic. What an honor.
And Mr. Steele getting a standing ovation from the South parents and fans.
The next two Hall of Famers are from the class of 1980. They were almost inseparable, an amazing pair like other legendary duos. You couldn't have Donnie without Marie, Oscar without Rita, Brandon without Steve. Runners who turned a 2-mile warm-up into a daily competition. This Raider was a 7-time All-American and a member of 4 state championship teams, 3 in track, 1 more in cross-country. As a sophomore, he won 3 individual state track titles in the indoor and outdoor mile, the 2-mile outdoor, and he took 2nd place in state cross-country the previous fall. Despite doing all that, as a sophomore, he found a way to remain motivated, set new goals, and surpass them. 32 years after graduating, the only Kansas high school student ever to run a faster mile was the incomparable Jim Ryan. His distance medley relay team broke the K Relays record and still stands today. His 4x8 relay ranks 5th all time in Kansas history. When I talked to Steve about this honor, in his Hall of Fame induction, he wanted to talk about everything else. He was astonished. He was just amazed with all the things his teammates did. How South had the #1 shot and discus thrower in the nation. How all the teachers had an incredible influence pushing him to think, strive, and excel. How head coach Berlin Schmidt was the woodworker and he was the tool. Berlin invented the philosophy, created the environment, committing his time and effort so young men and women could reach their potential. Schmidt also took mediocre talent and with hard work and team camaraderie turned it into something else. Smith's success never would have happened without all the other people, those around him, with all their support. According to Steve. What he learned through high school athletics was how to handle adversity, how to make a commitment, and deal with incredible success. Like Ted Staley, his kids all went to Shawnee Mission South. So tonight, we honor from the class of 1980, the self-track loose cannon.
Steve Smith, amazing cross-country runner for Shawnee Mission South. Holds a lot of records. An honor to be here with him.
Also joined by the head coach, by the current head coach. And this year, the Shawnee Mission South cross country team won the state title this year.
Yeah, Shawnee Mission South has a long tradition in track and cross country. Steve Smith was one of the most amazing runners, not just in South's history, but in the history of the state. And that goes for the same for Brett Steiner, who's up next.
And when the boundaries changed, he took a chance and came to South.
Some legends here tonight with us.
Sophomore, but the team wasn't very good, and he wasn't sure how much upside there was for 145-pound defensive back. Sophomore year in track, he had 1 goal, raced 5 minutes a mile. His first junior varsity meet, he won it in 4:49. The next day, the winning time of the varsity race was 4:42. His JV days were done, and the rest is history. Individually, he won 5 state championships, 2 in cross country, and Steve Smith took second all 3 years. Team-wise, there were 4 state titles, 3 in track, 1 in cross country. In 1979, he was the Kenny's national cross country champion, broke Jim Ryan's 2-mile cross country record, and he still owns the state record in the 3200. His name's still in the track honor roll at the end of the hole, like Steve Smith says in the 1600. He was also on that record-setting 4x8 relay team. 32 years later, Steve says he was just lucky. Right place, right time. Pushed by an incredible talent like Steve Smith. Encouraged by Coach Smith every day in the hall to go out for track your sophomore year. You're not a baseball player. You need to come run for me. And it worked out beautifully. Coach Smith kept him motivated and gave him confidence to do anything he set his mind to. Later as a senior at Kenny, he won every cross-country meet and went on to finish 7th in nationals. He still runs about 25 miles a week out in Arizona, rides his bike about 100, does some mountain bike racing just for fun. Steve Smith, by the way, he runs more than that, but he doesn't mind. If you guys have a scoreboard, still know it. When Steelers quarterback Terry Bradshaw was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, he said, "What I wouldn't give to put my hands under my flexors blunt just one more time. What I wouldn't give to see Steve Smith and Brett Steiner race one more time. Or go into the Raiders Athletic Hall of Fame, arm in arm, at the same time, in a photo finish." Our 3rd member of the Shawnee Mission South Athletic Hall of Fame from the class of 1980, the focused one, Brett Steiner.
Got some great athletes tonight. I'm sure it's just as much of an honor for them as it is for us to watch them be inducted. It's just amazing.
It sure is, great athletes that come through Shawnee Mission South. And these 3 tonight have really, just really deserved the honor of being in the Hall of Fame. Wouldn't you agree, Dr. Johnson?
Oh, absolutely. These are 3 great athletes. Of course, I coached in cross country and track, so seeing Steve Smith and Brett Steiner again is really an honor for me also.
All right, here in a few minutes, we're going to go to our man Anthony Yates out on the court with an interview. But until then, we're going to have the halftime, and we'll see you in a second.
Hi, I'm here with Ted Staley, class of '69, football Hall of Fame inductee. And first I'd like to say congratulations, Ted, on winning such a prestigious award. But
thank you very much, Tony. I appreciate it.
now I want to know, how did being involved in athletics and being so involved in sports influence you as a person?
I really enjoyed sports ever since I was just a little toddler. I kind of grew up with it, and it was natural for me to get into it. And I enjoyed football. Football was my sport that I enjoyed the most.
Yeah, you said it keeps you from getting fat, right?
Yeah, that's what the coaches used to say. That's why we went out for track and wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, well, thank you. Congratulations again.
Well,
Thanks for the time. Bye.
Appreciate it.
Back to you, Clayton.
All right, thanks, Anthony. It's been a great game so far. Both teams heating up a little bit. We got some aggression out on the court, but it's all good. We're going to have a good night tonight, don't you think, guys?
Yes, and I definitely agree. The momentum is with South right now, but, if West regroups, it had at halftime, you know, I don't think that they would shoot just the same way as they did in the first half and this half.
All right, let's look at some of the highlights from the first half here.
So now, Dr. Johnson, you know, I asked this question earlier, but if you were Coach Brinsco, what would you have said to your players at halftime?
Well, you know, you can't fault their effort, that's for sure. So I think you got to capitalize on what's the positives. It's not that they don't want to score. It's just been a tough first half of shooting. So go out there, make a few things happen right off the bat, and they're back in the game.
I definitely agree. You know, West has played hard this whole game. The effort is there. They just got to put, you know, just got to put that effort into points.
I mean, the defense of South has been tremendous up to this point.
Yeah, I mean, you hold a team under double-digit points in a half. You know, that's a great defensive effort.
All right, South bringing it back in to start the game back up. Going straight into the middle, but not quite a good enough shot. We got 21 from West bringing it back.
And South is continuing. The whole theme of this game so far is trying to get it inside.
West, good pass into the inside. Oh, good rebound. Number 14, South, bringing it back with a fast break. Right up against the glass, and it's good.
See, if you saw in that possession, West was crashing the boards more in that game. They got a couple tips on the ball. They just got to grab it up with two hands and bring it down.
All right, West bringing it around the outside, trying to keep some sort of catch on South, but sloppy passes on the inside, turns it over.
And turnover is something that they cannot afford in the second half either.
Driving down the baseline, 34. That was a long shot, I couldn't quite see.
That was another three by Dylan Christie. He has really come on strong in this game. You know, just showing his skills around the perimeter and also on the inside.
He's a fantastic leader.
Looks like we have enough.
Those fast breaks like that for South can be ruined with the sloppy pass. They really need to keep it tight on the inside.
You really got to finish those fast break layups. You know, you know, they had numbers down the court. It was a 3-on-1. Because they had a two-person advantage. They really have to know where they're passing and just get an easy 2 points right there.
All right, West gonna be bringing it on the baseline.
Critical possession for West. Things are starting to look tough for them.
That's very true. Right now is their go time. They need to find a way to get back. But it's a violation, backcourt violation.
Nope, it was a 10-second call. You have to get the ball over the court in 10 seconds or it's a turnover. And Shawnee Mission South has really been coming out West in this game with their full court man press, and it's really showed to get West really uncomfortable and flushing with the basketball. Another demonstration from the loyal Shawnee Mission South fans.
The South fans are having a good time over there. Looks like Hawaiian night.
It sure looks like it. I think it was a summer-themed night. The Shawnee Mission South seniors come up with a theme for each game, and all the fans are supposed to dress up according to the theme, and they decided on a summer theme this time.
They're definitely into it.
They got a strong team playing for them right now, especially.
It looks like West is staying with their man defense.
Good penetration by South. Good layup, number 14.
Jake Caldwell, very quick and agile, especially when he drives on the base. Especially when he drives, they have to make sure that because West needs to play hardcore man and really slow down the speed of Shawnee Mission South.
West having a hard time to even make it. Oh, nice attempt for a three, but not quite in. West just can't sink their outside shots.
They just haven't been getting the shooter's roll on their shots yet. And even though they left Tamont wide open, who is a prolific three-point shooter, like he really has to get open and run around and try to find openings in the South defense.
Right there is what West can do. They're letting South get right in the paint, and they just can't let them do that, especially when they're have such a deficit.
They really can't. They really need to lock down on defense. As I said, they have to make sure that they have somebody on everybody. Make sure that they get on shooters and make sure that when somebody drives, they have help defense to guard the basket.
On the other side of that coin, South really knows where to go and push their buttons and get inside without them knowing. Outside shot by West is rebounded by South. Outside shot, and it's good for South.
However, there was a foul called on Jay Tamad just before the shot. And the drought continues for West.
West has gone almost 4 minutes without scoring. They need a basket bad.
That's a nice drive by Pedersen. It'll be a blocking foul, and he'll be going to the free throw line. And a fact about Josh Pedersen is that he is shooting well over 90% on free throws this year.
Wow,
big
that's
man,
fantastic.
It really is, and especially for a big man and standing at 6'7". You don't see a lot of big guys who can shoot free throws nowadays.
Shawnee Mission West continues its production of the musical Thoroughly Modern Millie. With 2 performances tomorrow, January 28th in the auditorium. The curtain goes up at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. in the Shawnee Mission West auditorium. Tickets are $10 at the door.
Yep, I saw a story about that on the Shawnee Mission School District website today.
West swinging around outside. They needed that outside shot. They just couldn't sink it.
Robert Rice could not finish. Swoopkin hits his three-point, gets his own rebound, swings it out to Christie.
Nice, off the back.
And on West's last possession, Robert Rice had a wide open three-point, he just couldn't finish the shot.
You know, this quarter, South has 3 defensive rebounds and 1 offensive rebound. And unfortunately, West hasn't had any rebounds this quarter.
That really reflects, their points. West just needs to get in there and fight for the ball on the inside and maybe not take as many outside shots.
It really does. And again, the drought continues. They're pushing on 5 minutes without scoring. Looks like that'll be a traveling call on Jake Caldwell. Got some subs in for West. Senior Nick Thayer's coming in for number 33, Nick Vanman.
West bringing it around. Nobody on them, but they can't make those shots.
They scramble on the floor, and it gets to Newsom. With a quick
Newsom from the corner. Not quite. You see how South really got in there and fought for those rebounds?
They really did, and West needs to do the same thing, crashing the boards hard and making South work for their box outs.
That was the most important thing I learned when I played basketball. You really just got to know to get in there and take your own rebound, and that's where you're going to get your points.
Yes, exactly. And Hall of Fame coach, NBA coach Pat Riley once said, no rebounds and no rings. So that means you have to rebound to win games. Looks like there'll be a jump ball called, and it looks like it'll be South basketball.
Newsom bringing it up once again.
And in talking about Shawnee Mission West, they can't get frustrated with themselves, so that's just going to hurt them even worse.
That's the worst enemy of a team that's behind. Getting frustrated will get them tight and not where they need to be, which is loose and ready to take the ball when they need it.
The basketball is, a trusting object. If you believe in the basketball, then there's a better chance that it's going to go in. But if you get frustrated with it, then your shot's going to be effective.
There we go. That's great. West is on the board this quarter.
Shawnee Mission West with their first points of the third quarter with just 2 minutes left.
And if West is going to get back into this, now is the time, and they're doing a good job of it. Get right up there against the board.
Kyle Summers can't finish the reverse layup. It's those easy shots they have to put in the basket.
South working it in.
Christie can't finish the layup. And it'll stay South basketball. The deflection off the West. And it looks like the West fans wanted to travel on that call, but obviously the refs didn't see it, so it'll stay with South.
South has got the ball handling skills right now. They're able to manipulate and keep it low.
Sophomore Will Skoog is in the game now, another one of the young players that I said that we might see in this game. He was the varsity goalie this year for the South soccer team.
West with a nice switchback. Pass in number 41 on the outside.
And South is really getting in Shawnee Mission West's face when they're out on the perimeter.
However, nice inside shot for West. Now they're getting back where they need to be.
That was Galt Rose with the floater. Looks like Christie's calling for it in the post, but Mitch Witters takes it away. Looks like there'll be a reaching call on Dylan Christie.
What are we doing?
And there'll be a timeout by Shawnee Mission South.
All right, we're here with Brett Steiner, new induction to the Hall of Fame. What do you have to say?
I feel very honored.
Yeah.
Very happy that have done this.
It's fantastic to have yourself here tonight. You had some great records as a runner, and that still stand today.
Thank you.
It's an honor to have you here. Dr. Johnson here was the cross-country coach and a track coach.
Yeah, Topeka West.
All right.
And so I got to see you run a lot, and it's just an honor to be around somebody who, after all these years, you're still on top. That's great.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's an honor to be here.
And you're still active running this
Yeah, I've been
today?
staying fairly healthy and active enough. And,
Good, good. And you're living in Arizona?
Yes, been out there for 25 years.
Okay, great.
It's fantastic you could join us here tonight. It's really great to be here.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys inviting us back, and it's been a really honor.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
All right, we're back in the game.
All right,
Shawnee Mission South bringing it back.
What you just saw, Jay Tamont missed a three-pointer, and Shawnee Mission South running out the clock in this third quarter.
South for the outside shot. It's no good.
And that's the end of the third quarter. Shawnee Mission South is leading 33-12.
All right, we're here again with Steve Smith, another inductee to the Hall of Fame. How do you feel?
I feel really good. I mean, honored that they would consider myself as being an inductee, and it probably made it extra special going with Brent. I ran with Brent all my 3 years here at Shawnee Mission South, so being inducted in with him, we were competitors, but we were friends, so extra special.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's an honor to be here with you. Dr. Johnson was a cross-country and track coach.
I was, and I had a chance to watch you run a lot. I was at Topeka West, and the two of you were ahead of your time. I mean, I don't know if you realized it at the time, but you were.
Yeah, I think when you're running, sometimes you forget about all the other distractions or things that are going around you. Everybody seems to kind of come up to you and be in awe, and your initial thoughts are kind of like, I don't know what everybody's making such a big fuss about it. You know, I'm just going out there and running. So, I think when we look back, we actually do realize, wow, what are some of these accomplishments that we actually did? So, again, very honored and humbled by the experience, and just glad that.
Are you living in Kansas City?
I do. I actually live about half a mile from Shawnee Mission South. All three of my children attended. My last one actually graduated from Shawnee Mission South last year and is playing soccer up in South Dakota State.
Oh, great.
I have a middle son. He goes to K-State. So my alma mater, after Brent and I had our little run-in with Arizona State, and then my oldest one is actually living in New York, trying to do the Broadway thing. So.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us. It was an honor.
Sure.
Thank you. All right, back here into the fourth quarter. Shawnee Mission South leading by a considerable amount.
And the shooting was continued for Shawnee Mission West. Got two opportunities to get about an 8-foot shot, but they just couldn't fall.
Now Shawnee Mission West trying to penetrate the South defense, but they saved the outside shot. That's good for them, especially this late in the game.
That's Jason Moore with his first 3-point of the game. He was about 0 for 4 previously until just now. And West really needs a spark in their offense.
South on the outside, not quite good, but West with a nice rebound. Both teams having a good job of sprinting in and out, trying to get it open. Number 50 for West brings it in for an inside shot right into the goal.
And I think that was the only sequence in which West scored on 2 consecutive possessions the whole game.
Newsom, a hot player tonight. He's getting a lot of action, and he's getting right in there inside.
Louisville looking for somebody to pass to. Looks like South is going to regroup and try to get their offense.
That's smart. It's really easy for a leading team like this to get ahead of themselves. It's good to step back and take a breath and plan out your moves.
I definitely agree. That was a block by Tamad, and it'll stay with South down on the baseline.
West had him cornered. They let him in the baseline, but he couldn't sink the basket.
And it seems that Shawnee Mission West got pretty lucky there that Christie didn't finish that. They can't allow more defensive mental breakdowns like that, especially since Christie has been a big scorer this game.
South inside, right off the glass. West just couldn't get back fast enough.
It's those fast breaks, those 3-on-1. That South finished that one, but they have had the fast breaks all day.
Ooh, number 11 with a good outside shot with a lot of defense on him. He gave it in the clutch.
And now Tomat is showing the scoring ability that he has here in the fourth quarter.
They just have to keep that up. A lot of shooting this quarter for West to get back in it.
A lot of scrambling under the basket right now. Both teams trying to keep each other out.
And the South fans didn't like that. They wanted a foul.
We got a push. 2 shots.
It's an air ball, and it looks like, yep, that was Mitch Witter going up. Looks like South is huddling under the basket, trying to get everyone on the same page so they won't have more breakdowns.
Yeah, this is a good time for a timeout. Both teams need to cool off just a little bit here.
It kind of looks like Shawnee Mission South feels a little rushed right now, since West is, showing their little scoring ability. They got a little quick sequences with some quick points. South doesn't need to be, and, because South doesn't really need to be too frantic. And now we're gonna, show you some replays of the second half.
Shawnee Mission South getting in there when West just can't keep the defense up.
Yeah, and that really shows you the inside presence that Dylan Christie has had this game, and everyone else getting into the paint.
West just now starting to drop their outside shots, and that's good for them, but they need to keep it up.
See, now the West offense is showing just a little bit of life, because they need to keep it going if they want to get back in this game.
Witter will be taking his 2 shots.
As I said before, these are 2 very crucial free throws because West was down 33-10 not too long ago. So if he makes these 2, they will be within 14.
Not the first one.
When you're on the free throw line, you just have to relax and imagine the ball going in and trust.
Here we go.
And trusting your shooting ability.
West has come back a little bit, and they're only down by 15 points now. And if they work it, they can definitely make a comeback.
There'll be a foul on. It looks like there'll be a foul on Witter on Pedersen.
This is fourth foul on Witter, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
it's
it
his
is.
4th foul. And if he gets 1 more, then he is done for the rest of this game.
Raiders shooting from the top of the key, making it.
And Danon Swoop with a wide open shot with a good pick by Christie at the top of the key to get him wide open.
West having a hard time getting out of that corner.
And West is really moving the ball around the perimeter. They have to set some picks and get their guys open so they can just get more shots up. If they get more shots up, then there's a bigger chance that most of them are going to go through. And if they just rebound well, then they can really get back.
Interestingly enough, West, as far behind as they are and as deep into the game as they are not playing a full court press on South.
They really aren't. This has been a very, it's been a big defensive game and also kind of a poor shooting day for both teams, especially West. But looks like there'll be an offensive foul on Thayer. It'll be South basketball.
Well, you got to give the West student section a lot of credit. They're still hanging in there. They're all standing, still cheering. They're supporting their team.
They're out for the team. That's right.
I definitely agree. And when I used to play basketball here at South, just when you start hearing the crowd, just backing you, and when you're down, it really makes a big difference.
South can't quite make that outside shot, so West has the rebound. Number 11 bringing it back to Witter.
Tamak didn't hit the outside shot.
All right. You know, I think that's one of the first offensive rebounds they've gotten, maybe in the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly been very few. Witter got one not too long ago when he shot free throws.
That's right, he did. But it turned into points.
Yeah, you just got to capitalize on every opportunity that you get, as you and I have said throughout this whole game. Closing in on the final 2 minutes of the game.
Shawnee Mission South getting on the outside.
Looks like that'll be a foul on number 41, Dalton Rose. That's his second foul.
Newsom will be throwing it in for South.
That'll be a timeout by Shawnee Mission South as Newsom couldn't find anybody to pass it to.
It's good timing.
Yeah, and it really was. You can't afford to give a 5-second call inbounds, especially when you have timeouts to give.
Dr. Johnson, what do you think about West right now? What do they need to do to get the most points they can these last 2 minutes?
Well, you know, the probability that they're going to come back in 2 minutes and 16 seconds is pretty slim, but they just need to finish the game hard. And, you know, they have gotten a number of defensive rebounds this half. So, you know, just try and make it respectable at this point.
Yes, Dr. Johnson, I agree with you. West has certainly improved their play. You know, it's almost been night and day different from the first half to now.
Yeah.
All right, break on the inside. South gets it, but they couldn't quite bring it up.
Gets him inside, and Christie will be heading to the free throw line. That'll be a foul on Kyle Summers. And that's only his first foul. Christie can't hit the first one. Looks like there's a foul call on the free throw.
And that's it for Witter, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it for Witter. They called him for a push foul. That's his 5th foul. He is done for the rest of the game.
He was out there fighting for the team. He worked every second of it.
He sure did, and he had a good game, even though he got into foul trouble.
Still no free throw by South, but it'll be theirs.
Looks like, and the ref says that it was off Nick Baer. So South will retain possession, even though missing 3 straight free throws. Whoop.
Oh, we gotta travel.
Yep, that'll be another travel on Jake Caldwell.
West will finally be able to take it up in the end of this quarter.
And now with West missing their best over. Nice block by Christie. And West without their best overall player on the floor, they really need to compensate for that. They really have to find a way to score.
West right under the basket, and they make it off the glass.
Looks like West is coming at South with a full court man.
They will fight for the last inch of this game.
You know, just got to dig deep and, you know, just play your hardest in the last minute and a half here.
Travel on South, but did you see right there how West had left the entire key open? They had nobody in there.
Yeah, they did. They just left it completely wide open. And you know, even though they got lucky with the traveling call, they have to, you know, they have to regroup and, you know, say what's going on, you know, just defensively. They cannot allow big open spaces like that.
West has it. They're trying to swing it around. Their passes over the head aren't going to work all night.
And Tamad tries a fadeaway three. That won't go. So now it looks like South is going to try to milk out the clock with less than a minute left. Will now be shooting free throws. And now South is in the bonus. So if they get one more foul, they'll be getting 2 free throws instead of a 1-and-1.
Making their free throws at the very end.
Swoop hits both. As I said, our free throws will be a crucial part of this game, and West really struggled from the free throw line tonight.
Oh, but they can make those outside shots when it counts.
Shawnee Mission West's first three in quite a long while, I have to say. Now, as we're approaching the final, about 32.5 seconds left in the game. Shawnee Mission West down by 13. It looks like their chances for a comeback are pretty slim at this point. Wouldn't you agree, Dr. Johnson?
Max, I can't hear you very well. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said that since there are about 32.5 seconds left here in the fourth quarter, and Shawnee Mission West is down by 13, it seems that their chances for a comeback are pretty slim right now.
Well, let's put it this way, it'd be a miracle.
Boy, it sure would be.
But that's no reason to play the game any less.
Yeah.
With any less.
I definitely agree. And in fact, if anyone remembers the Tracy Grady 13 points in 33 seconds when he played for the Houston Rockets just some time ago. So, you know, nothing's impossible, but, you know.
That's true.
West is going to have to resort to foul to stop the clock.
First shot is good.
Both free throws.
West bringing it back fast. They want every second they can have. Outside shot again, number 41 for West.
There'll be a timeout for Shawnee Mission West. Yes, see, now the life is coming back into the West offense, but you know, even with, you know, about 18 seconds left, this game is pretty out of reach right now.
Well, you certainly can't fault West's effort tonight. They played really hard, and they just had a really rough night shooting. But towards the end of the game, you know, they've relaxed a little bit, and some of their shots are falling.
They sure have. You know, they showed the signs of a relaxation and focus. And they played extremely hard tonight, but they just got really unlucky with their shooting, and things just didn't go their way today.
Well, that's true. And South's defense tonight has been phenomenal. They've played very hard.
They sure have, and they sure earned the right to be number 2 in the Sunflower League, just behind the powerhouse of Olathe Northwest, who South will be playing in the second to last game of the regular season here at South on February 24th.
That'll be an outstanding game.
It will be. With the fouling that West is doing now, they're really not helping themselves, especially when the Raiders are getting their shots.
But when you start playing the foul game, kind of get the time off the clock. And now here are all of the young JV players that I said that we would see. We have number 11 Kendall McCoy, Will Skoog, Sam Landis, and sophomore Nick Oliver.
West bringing up what might be their last possession of the night. They're going to try and make it a good one.
If they can score here, we'll end the game up and it'll be respectable.
It sure will. West could not. Looks like it'll stay with West with 3 seconds left to go.
Let's see if they can pull out this last shot right under the rim. And they did it. Nice job, West.
Good.
Goes to South.
Yeah, it was a good ending for West. They had a rough night, and they only lost the game by 12.
Yeah, it certainly was. Even though they, they had the life going in the fourth quarter. The third quarter was really just made with their shooting, but the fourth quarter they started to pick it up.
All right, well, it's been a fantastic night. Both teams put all the effort out there. Max, what do you think of your team's performance tonight?
It was just a little unexpected, because I thought that South would score a lot more points, but they had a great defensive game tonight, and you got to see the young talent of South in action. And as they improved to 10-2 on the season, it's been a great, it's been a great 12-game start for them, and I look forward to the future games.
Yeah, I'll tell you, South has some good young kids out there, and they're playing really hard, and it's it'll be a lot of fun to watch them.
All right, well, we're going to go back out to Anthony Yates with another interview.
All right. Hey, I'm here with Rusty Newman, Director of Student Relations and Athletics for SMSD. Rusty, what other sports are involved in SMSD?
Well, we have 23 sports for both boys and girls, and obviously it's divided up between our fall sports, winter and spring. During the winter, for example, we have boys and girls basketball, wrestling, bowling, and then swimming.
Okay. And how many years exactly has SMSD been in Sunflower League?
Oh, goodness. We're one of the original members, probably dates back to the 60s.
Wow. That's pretty long.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, when you come to these games, you probably have to be kind of neutral, but it kind of looks like you're wearing West colors tonight.
Well, I have a yellow sweater on, Anthony, so it's actually kind of South and West. Yeah, I don't have a favorite. I like to just come to the games, watch the kids, watch the coaches prepare themselves, and just kind of enjoy the atmosphere.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay, that's it for us. We're going to go back to Clayton and the guys.
Well, it's really great to be able to talk to him. We're going to go right back out for another interview here in a second with one of the coaches.
Coach, how do you feel your Raiders played today?
Well, we competed. We played extremely hard. We knew it was going to be rough and physical. I think we set the tone in the first half by holding them to 8 points and did a fantastic job. But we like to. We got a ton of guys on our team that love to guard, and that's what we really emphasize when we played. To hold them to 8 points, was fantastic, and we just, you know, that really set the tone in the first half.
Yeah, I noticed that you kept them out of the paint, so they had to shoot the low percentage shots, which really hurt them. So,
well, and we knew they were big and strong, and we knew the Tamat kid can really shoot it. So we're not gonna let Tamat try to get any open looks, and Devin Newsom did a fantastic job on him. And then our bigs just worked their butt off inside, and we did a good job inside, and we did a good job of keeping them off the inside and off the boards.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good job, Coach. Hey, congrats on the win. All right, back to Clayton and the guys.
All right, thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Thanks, Dr. Johnson. It was great to be here with you.
It's always a pleasure, guys. We'll talk to you the next time.
All right, Friday Night Basketball signing off.